What's good, Budget Fam? Today I want to talk to you guys about the 5 shoes I regret selling the most. Let's get into it.
One pair to wear, one pair on ice. Aftermarket speculation will surely hike up the price. Call that all in the plans. Feeling like Mike with the ball in my hands. Swear to God.
Alright, what's good, Budget Fam? Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Sneakerheads TV. Your boy Sneakerhead on a budget. Thank you so much for supporting, guys. The people who give me likes and comments, even the dislikes, I do appreciate you guys. It helps promote the channel. It helps get the channel out there. It helps grow the channel. And without you guys, I wouldn't have anything to go for that. So appreciate you guys so much for just sharing and loving and commenting, and I appreciate you guys for loving this content. I do enjoy doing this. It definitely helps me with my mind, helps me with everything, especially everything going on. It's definitely a positive outlet. So as we get into it, I definitely want to give a shout out to Snicks23 for his idea. I seen his video earlier. It's a banger. Go ahead and show him some love right there. But it got me thinking too, the top 5 shoes that I regret selling. Ugh. Before we get into it, guys, let's go ahead and shout out our sponsor for sponsoring this video.
Nothing.
So there's a few, and it's not really like major heat. I can do a top 5 pairs of shoes I've missed out on, and I can do that. But for this one, man, this comes from the time me and my wife were college students, you know, eating ramen and Taco Bell, trying to make our way through, and we had to pay off some things, and so, the one thing that had to go was so I knew that outlet had made a little extra money. She didn't at the time, even though we had our job. It was just, any extra money would help. So here's some shoes that kind of had to give up just to keep us afloat. At number 5, Legend Blue, based off the Columbia 11s that released in 2001. These Legend Blues were really nice. Like, I really enjoyed. I liked them. They were actually my first pair of 11s I've actually owned. They're pretty dope to figure out and put fits around. I seen that they started yellowing fast, but it's whatever. We're having the shoes. So we just needed some extra cash, and I had to let those go. I regret selling those so much, especially looking at how the value is now. And I think I sold those for just like $100. I know. Just $100. Just so we can. The next one that really hit home was bred 13. The reason why these hit home is because I actually stood in line for these on my birthday, and that's when they still had the camping. I actually camped out for these, and I stood in line on my birthday. I had to work at 8 a.m. I believe. Yep, I had to work at 8 a.m. Had a short shift, but I stood up there since like 6 a.m. just waiting for them. And I ended up actually not getting my size. I had to get it like size below, and somehow it still fit. But I kind of got it just because like a manager I was working with at the time. Well, I used to work with at the time. I seen him in line. Me and him kind of didn't get along from when I did work at that place. I'm not gonna say what shoe place it is. If you know, you know. And he seen me, and he was still being that. I'm not gonna cuss, but he was just like, "What size?" And I was like, 11.5. Don't have it. He's like, "What about an 11?" Okay, we have one left. And he walked off, and I was like, "This dude." But the guys panicked because the other guys came for other size. You know what happens? You don't get your size. You do other things. So somebody in the store backdoored my 11, and they couldn't find it. Dude kept looking for it. He couldn't find the 11. So I was like, "Man." And then he was like, "Oh, we just have a 10.5. And then the manager looked at me. He's like, "Oh, well, that sucks. You can go find somewhere else." And I was like, "Give me the 10.5. Not realizing how stupid that was, because I'm still giving them money and profit. So young and naive. So I got those shoes, and I just, because of everything going on, I just sold them like super quick. Like I had to play like 2 years or a year, and I just sold them like just for pennies. I think I just sold them for like $100. Not really understanding sneaker value at that time and reselling and like actually doing, my due diligence on looking at how much these shoes are worth. I kept them in really good condition because they weren't my size, but I just sold them for like $100 and something. Like really cheap. Looking at the value that they are now and look at the value that they were, I was just like, man, if I had known, I'd have sold these for more. But I didn't know, so I was just like, sell them. Like I don't wear these, sell them. So I do regret selling those only because before I started paying attention to, you know, how much sneakers cost on another end. The third shoe that really hits is the De La Soul Dunks. And the reason why I just adore that colorway. The De La Soul Dunk was an amazing colorway. And this is when I was definitely deep in my Ross Finds journeys and my trip to the thrift journeys, when I started diving into a little bit more instead of just casually going. And I was at Ross. When I was working at Ross, I was at Ross and I was walking through the aisles double checking, and I seen they had just put them out, and I was like, wait, are those what I think they are? And so I ran to them, picked them up, and I was like, bruh, these are De La Soul Dunks, and they only wanted like $30 for them or something like that. So I was like, yes. And so I grabbed them, you know, bought them at discount, you know, because you gotta do that. And so I got them, I rocked them a few times, I wore them, but then again, we needed some extra money. So I was like, okay, I'll just sell these Dunks, you know. And as soon as it's like, you know how you have that instant regret? Because again, I sold them because I wore them, I sold them for cheaper than what it was. Dunks actually weren't going for as much as they were. I think if I had sold them now, I would have got like way more, because Travis was wearing everything. But I sold them for like $90 or something like that, which I know I could have got way more. I was trying to do a quick sell because we needed it. And as soon as the dude drove off with them, I was just like, no, give him back. Instant regret. I would have never sold those there. I wish I would have had them still up in here. That's how much I want to keep them De La Soul. Gosh. Another one, fourth one, is when the Ross journey just started clicking, and I seen a lot of people were finding Nike Air Tech challenges, and those are definitely dope shoes. Now, those were a retro of the other ones that came out before it. But Andre Agassi had wore those, and the colorway is just fire. I think they put some LeBrons out in that colorway. The colorway is just fire. It's how they put the shoe together. It's just amazing. And so I actually found a pair for me and my wife. So me and her were stunting together, you know, just looking good, and we needed some money, and so I had to sell those off. And I still regret it to this day, because like I haven't been able to find any Nike Air Tech challenges. And you know, I don't know why. And my wife always reminds me, always. She's like, I really actually like those shoes. I was like, why do you keep telling me this? Because I like them too. But we needed the money, and somebody was willing to buy both pairs. So I was like, come on, man. But I did love those shoes. And the number one shoe that I actually regret selling the most, oh my god, it was my Bred 1 Low OGs. Let me tell you a story on that. So, the shoe stores out here aren't always the best. So we went to the store and they had the pairs, but the associate was kind of like, yeah, we do have that size, but it seems like it's on hold. And we're like, oh really? She was like, yeah, it's on hold, and a manager's hold. So I was like, what? And so the manager from that Foot Locker has been very known for putting his stuff for his friends and backdooring pairs that were out there. You know, he's backdooring pairs, so he'll hold it and backdoor. That Foot Locker is notorious for you calling them, hey, you guys doing a raffle, and they tell you no, and then you drive to that Foot Locker and they're doing the raffle 2 minutes after they told you no. That's how bad that Foot Locker is here. It's a terrible place. So we went there and they were like, no, you can't, we don't have any pairs, we only have a size, whatever. So I had to run to Sheik's and see what size they had, and they only had like a size 12. And so I was like, okay, whatever, I'll just grab the size 12. So I grabbed the size 12, ran back to that Foot Locker where my wife was. She was trying to get me some Bulls on Broadways, and she was like, hey, she just pulled out the 11.5 in the back, and it was the manager's pair. And I was like, bruh. And it's like those shoes, it was so much work just to get those Bred ones, especially with everything going on. God, I hate that for life. But I ended up having that pair, and I rocked those. Bro. The Bred one, any Bred one colorway is amazing. I don't care what you say, it's amazing. I rocked those to death. But then again, you know, college student, needed the money, and so I was looking at what, like, my collection, and somebody said, hey, I'll buy those off you for blah, blah, blah. Now, and I was just like, well, he's trying to give me a bill or something. Like, that definitely helped. And so I sold them right there. And again, another instant regret, because I was just like, damn. But I was thinking in my head, like, oh, I'll always get another pair. I have not gotten another bred one pair. I have a bred one strap, but it's kind of not the same. I mean, I guess it's the same, but it's kind of not the same. It doesn't feel the same. I'm saying it's hurt, but it's not the same. It's not the same. Like, oh. So those are my top 5 pairs that I regret selling that I got. So what about you guys? What are some shoes that you guys had that you regret selling? Some shoes you had that you regret giving up and giving away? Like, what is it? Like, leave it in the comments. I want to know what you guys feel. Do you guys feel the agony like me? Do you guys feel it? Because I feel it. It still hurts talking about it right now. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.
Hope you love all of my shit. I hope you love all of my shit.